In the beginning, the garden bloomed with a beauty untouched by time. Verdant leaves shimmered beneath a sun that never scorched, and the air hung heavy with the perfume of blossoms unknown to the world that would follow. This was Eden, a sanctuary of innocence. Yet within its heart, hidden beneath the shadows of its branches, a secret coiled, a secret far older than the garden itself. Among the creatures that roamed the garden, the serpent moved with a grace both captivating and unsettling. To the unknowing eye, it was but another of the Almighty's creations, slithering among the roots and rocks. But the serpent was not like the others. Its scales glistened as though woven from night itself, and its eyes shimmered with a wisdom that seemed to pierce the soul. Those eyes carried the weight of knowledge forbidden to both man and beast. The ancient Hebrew texts speak not merely of a serpent, but of something far more insidious. The word used, Nachash, holds layered meanings lost in translation. It whispers of more than just a snake. It hints at an enchanter, a being capable of divination, of casting spells with its very presence. The serpent's voice, soft as silk, wove through the branches, beckoning with promises of forbidden wisdom. Eve wandered through the garden, her curiosity as boundless as the stars that would one day fill the heavens. The serpent watched her from the shadows, its gaze unwavering. When at last it spoke, its voice slid through the leaves like a sigh on the wind. The Hebrew text reveals that the serpent's question was not a simple inquiry, but a calculated spell, its words chosen with precision. Did God really say, "You must not eat from any tree in the garden"? The phrasing was subtle, designed to plant doubt where none had existed before. The serpent's words were more than speech, they were an invocation. The Hebrew word for say, amar, can also imply a form of declaration, a magical utterance meant to reshape reality itself. The serpent's question bent the truth, distorting it just enough to crack the fragile foundation of trust. Eve's mind began to churn, her certainty slipping through her fingers like grains of sand. It is here that the ancient texts diverge from the stories passed down through generations. The serpent's role was not one of mere temptation, but manipulation. The Nachash was no ordinary creature. It was a being of power, perhaps even a fallen one. Some interpretations suggest that the serpent was a manifestation of something far darker, a rebellious watcher cast down from the heavens. His presence in Eden was no accident. It was a test, a trap set long before the first breath of man. As Eve reached for the fruit, the serpent's eyes flickered with something ancient and unnameable. The fruit itself was not simply a forbidden object, but a vessel. The Hebrew word for knowledge, dayat, implies more than intellectual understanding. It speaks of intimacy, a union of minds and souls. To eat of the fruit was not to gain mere knowledge, but to become entwined with the very essence of what the serpent represented. The moment the fruit touched her lips, the air in the garden seemed to shift. The leaves shivered as though something unseen had passed through them. Adam, bound by love and curiosity, followed her into the act. Their eyes were opened, but what they saw was not the world in its fullness. It was the weight of mortality, the burden of shame. The serpent had not lied, not entirely. They had gained knowledge, but it was knowledge that fractured the soul. The secret of the serpent is buried within the Hebrew text, hidden beneath layers of translation and time. The word aram, used to describe the serpent's cunning, also carries the connotation of being naked, exposed. The serpent was both wise and vulnerable, a paradox bound by ancient laws. It is said that before the fall, the serpent walked upright, a creature of grace and intellect. Its punishment stripped it of limbs, casting it into the dust to crawl for eternity. Yet there are whispers that the serpent's essence did not perish with its form. Some believe that the Nachash was not merely punished, but transformed. Its spirit dispersed through the shadows, bound to the earth until the end of days. Its voice still lingers, threading through the cracks of the world, offering forbidden truths to those who dare listen. The garden's gates closed, the cherubim's flaming sword sealing the path to paradise. Adam and Eve wandered into the world, carrying the weight of their choice. But the serpent's secret endured, hidden in the marrow of humanity. The knowledge passed down through whispers, encoded in symbols and rites. Those who sought it found themselves standing at the edge of revelation, staring into the abyss where the serpent still waits. The Hebrew text hints at something far darker, that the serpent's temptation was not merely an act of rebellion, but the first step in a plan older than creation itself. The Nachash may have been an agent of chaos, a harbinger of a war that would rage unseen through the ages. The true nature of the serpent is a riddle without answer, a secret buried beneath the bones of the earth. To this day, its whispers echo through the dark corners of the world. The serpent's promise lingers in every forbidden desire, in every question that gnaws at the edges of faith. Those who seek the truth risk unraveling the very fabric of reality, for the serpent's knowledge is a double-edged blade, one that cuts both the seeker and the world they long to understand. The secret of the serpent is not in what it offered, but in what it became, a shadow woven into the heart of humanity, waiting to be awakened by those who dare to seek what was never meant to be known. Through the ages, those who have sought the hidden knowledge have been met with visions, whispers in the dark that unravel the mind. The serpent's influence lingers in forgotten texts, in cryptic symbols etched into ancient stones. Some claim the knowledge granted is too vast for mortal minds, that those who stare too long into the abyss find themselves changed, their souls marked with an unseen sigil. There are accounts, scattered across time and civilizations, of those who claim to have spoken with the serpent in their dreams. They describe its voice as neither male nor female, neither cruel nor kind, but something that transcends mortal comprehension. It offers them truths wrapped in riddles, visions of a time before time. Some awaken with newfound clarity, while others are left haunted, shadows clinging to the edges of their sight. The serpent's presence did not end with the fall of man. It simply changed its form. It slithers through the myths of countless cultures, a force that tempts, enlightens, and destroys in equal measure. Some say it waits for the day when humanity will reclaim its lost wisdom, when the barriers placed by divine decree will shatter. Others believe that the serpent never left, that its influence has shaped history from the shadows, whispering to those willing to listen. But knowledge comes with a price. The serpent's truth is a fire that burns away illusion, but it does not promise salvation, only understanding. And for many, understanding is the first step into darkness, a journey from which there is no return.